Throughout history, all woods and forests in the UK have felt the influence of humans to a greater or lesser extent. Whether it's utilising woodland to feed livestock such as pigs, coppicing for charcoal, or large-scale management for timber production, our forests all bear the fingerprints of human intervention. Indeed, without management, the vision and objectives for the forest, whatever they might be, are unlikely to be achieved.
When we're managing our forests, we're considering the 3 pillars of sustainability, so community, environment and economics. And when we're looking to diversify our forests, we always need to keep this in mind, especially as we're managing our forests for the commercial timber market. So we need to ensure that our trees meet the needs of the commercial timber market, especially the local sawmills.
There are different management techniques that we can consider to help us diversify our forests. In DiversiTree, we've focused on 3. We've thought about continuous cover forestry, natural regeneration and enrichment planting. However, none of these techniques will guarantee an increase in tree species richness.
Continuous Cover Forestry, or CCF, is a forest management approach that primarily aims to maintain canopy cover through avoiding clear felling. Clear felling risks reducing biodiversity and eroding soil. Instead, continuous cover forestry ensures only selected trees are felled, providing continuity in forest habitat. CCF can be used to enhance the tree species diversity of a forest by either letting trees naturally colonise as seed is introduced, for instance by animals or wind, or by actively planting tree species not already present on site or in the wider landscape. There are many decisions to be made when managing a wood or forest using CCF. The amount of space you create when selecting trees for removal can influence the success of the natural colonisation and regeneration of tree seedlings. Some tree species are less good at competing with other trees, and this will have a big influence on decisions regarding which species would be desirable to plant as part of a CCF regime. The levels of light available for young trees is a big factor in the success of CCF as a technique to increase tree species diversity, and in turn this is strongly linked with the approach taken for selecting trees to remove or thin from the forest. Decisions must be carefully made about whether individual trees or groups of trees are to be removed, and in what regime or pattern for CCF to be a success on a given site.
Enrichment planting is when you actually insert other tree species into your forest to increase the species mixture, but that can be quite costly, and it doesn't necessarily guarantee you a greater diversity of tree species in the longer term, because it really depends which tree species you're planting and their respective growth rates and shade tolerance. In terms of natural regeneration, you're very much limited to what the seed source that's available. So it might take many years or decades for you actually to diversify your woodland because it's dependent on the seeds naturally arriving and germinating and establishing.
The National Trust for Scotland have chosen to go down the route of reducing the herbivore pressure to get the natural regeneration. The reason we've done that is we want to really encourage natural processes as far as possible. And what they allow for is a real sort of nice distribution of species, but also we can get the trees distributing themselves naturally in the environment rather than us choosing to do that through planting or selecting special areas through fencing. You can see around us this fantastic woodland that's being created. It's got diversity in species, diversity in ages, and all of that really supports now a really diverse fauna that can live off this natural regeneration as it develops.
Although all 3 techniques have the potential to increase species richness, it's not a guaranteed outcome. Natural regeneration and CCF both depend on having a suitable diverse seed source. All 3 techniques depend on the scale at which you measure diversity. If seeking an intimate mix of species, then whether any of the techniques will deliver diversity will depend on how suitable it is to grow the trees together. Are they compatible, or will they outcompete one another? Planting a diverse mix of species may not be enough if one species outcompetes all the others. There are many ways for forest managers to try and increase tree species diversity on site. There are also other factors and goals that must be considered, for instance, the structure of the forest or the genetic diversity present on site. In the future, it's likely that forest managers will also be paying more attention to the microbial diversity present in their forests, all of which are key aspects of what makes woods and forests resilient to the many threats they face.